Hey, welcome back to Local Static. Thank you so much for being here. This week we're joined by another local artist. He's a local soul rock artist, Buggy Jive. Thank you so much for being here.
It's good to be here.
Really grateful to have a moment to talk to you and sit down and talk about your writing process, your music, a little bit more. First question is just really easy. If you want to introduce to people that haven't heard your music, just a little bit about your sound.
My two biggest influences are probably Prince and Joni Mitchell, although I get compared also to like D'Angelo and Elvis Costello and Led Zeppelin, but it's lately we say soul rock or sometimes acoustic soul rock because I've been doing more with acoustic guitar and acoustic instruments lately. But I think, if Joni Mitchell and Prince had a band, I'd like to think they'd sound a lot like the music I'm making.
Yeah, that's great. What specifically about those two artists inspires you most?
There's so much. I don't even know where to begin. They're actually a lot more similar than I think people would think at first blush. A lot of people's misperception about Joni Mitchell is she's the golden girl with the folk guitar, and she really was never really a folk artist in that sense once she started writing her own songs. And she, over the years with all her guitar tuning, she became very experimental, started playing with jazz musicians, and did an electronic album with Thomas Dolby. So she's always like challenging, her fans and challenging, her perception, and always growing over her career. And I think Prince was the same way. It's like he was never part of. You can never pin him down for a single genre or a sound. One song he might be doing more of an R&B falsetto stylistic kind of thing, and the next one he's shredding guitar like Santana. So it's like he was also all over the place. And I think that's what I appreciate about them. And, they were friends. They hung out, so there's that as well.
Yeah, kind of just being able to expand your music in different ways and not remaining stagnant to one genre or one perception. That's really,
I'm still trying to figure out what a song is. I call myself a songwriter, but and that's one of the things, especially about Joni, but Prince as well. It's like I just wrote a song, and I was like, oh, how's the second verse going to go? I was like, I don't think it needs a second verse, It's like that kind of thing. It's like I approach it more like art projects and like collages and like where does it need to go,
Yeah.
So it feels more natural.
Yeah. It's really interesting, and I'm wondering, knowing how your writing process works a little bit more now, what first got you interested in music and writing music specifically?
My parents for Christmas. Oh my God, I don't want to say how many years ago because, woo! Oh boy, a very long time ago, in the olden days, I had like a little toy organ, and it came with a little book with, color-coded like notes and stuff, and I was like picking out the songs. So I was 6 or 7, like first grade, and that's when I first. It's interesting because some of the chords, like you press one button and there's the chord. It really helped me understand like what a chord is and the difference between a major chord and a minor chord and a diminished or whatever. And so that was really the kernel. And then I got a real organ like a couple of years later and started taking more formal lessons. But I didn't really. It never occurred to me that I could start playing the songs I heard on the radio until I think summer of 6th grade, and we went to visit relatives, and we were at my aunt's house down south. She had a piano in the front, and I was just kind of bored one day, and I was like, I wonder if I could pick out the notes to Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. So that was like the first thing I did. And then I was like, I wonder if I could do the chorus to Running with the Devil by Van Halen. And I was like, oh my God. And that was, once I started playing songs that I was already listening to on the radio, then that over the years evolved into let me make some of my own songs. You know.
That's so interesting. Just kind of taking your ear for music that you're already hearing and applying it to what you know. And yeah, kind of just making an extension of you. That's really cool. Yeah. Could you talk to me a little bit about, I know you said that your parents getting that toy organ is kind of the introduction to music for you. Could you talk about the people that have helped you along the way once you began writing music and started, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I guess my parents, I should give them credit for it. That was the kernel. Who helped me along the way? Oh, well, locally, like two of my heroes. One was Caroline Isaacson, Mother Judge, who passed away a couple of years ago. But she had an open mic. She always had an open mic, but it would be at, sometimes it would be at Valentine's, sometimes it would be at Lark Tavern, sometimes it would be at the Larkin. It was like all over town over the years. But I mean, that was like one of the driving forces for like how I met people, and she was so like welcoming and Mother Judge. It's right there in the name. She was like a mother to the community, but also Greg Hames, who wrote for the Times Union, and just a genius artist in his own right, but also founder of Nippertown, and was in a little band called Blotto, which I did not make the connection when I was first starting. I sent out a press release, and then someone said, "Oh, Greg Hames is Sarge Blotto." I was like, "What?" So that kind of freaked me out. But they were both like very helpful and encouraging along the way as far as like local places. And then also people like Mike Eck. I think Mike Eck gave me my first gig. Wow. Him and Amy Abdu. One or the other, I can't remember which it was. But those are both like songwriter showcase things. Yeah. Let's see. I got a buddy that I've known for years through my Joni Mitchell nerddom named Michael Paz. He's a producer in New Orleans, and he's kind of been helping me out the last couple of years with kind of getting out of the house a little more to make music as opposed to just holding up in my basement and recording in the studio. So he's been a big help too. And it's interesting because I've known him for, again, I don't want to say the number of years because for a long time. Yes. Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of just collaboration with different artists and just different people.
Not really I've never really been great at like full on collaboration, like sit in a room and write a song together. Although earlier this year, I did record the hook on a song for JB, aka Dirty Moses' new album. Mm-hmm. And at almost exactly the same time, I sang two songs by Lecco Morris and Justin Rivers in their project. And those are interesting because those were already written. All I had to do was just bring my vocals to it. But I've been like, I'm not great at like collaboration. I'm trying to set myself up to get better, but I'm such a control freak, I think.
Yeah, I get it.
When it gets to the songwriting process.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like, very personal.
Yeah.
And you said earlier too when we were talking that you just really like the process itself, which lends to one of the songs that you performed for us that we're about to show to the audience. But if you wanted to talk to us a little bit about both of those songs separately, just the writing process, the themes, what people should be taking from the music when they hear it.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, like a lot of my songwriting, because I'm a navel-gazing songwriter, is kind of meta. A lot of songs about the creative process and a lot of songs about songwriting and performing and being an artist in general. And I think both of the songs, these are both from the new album. There's a lot of songs in the new album with those themes of, those meta things of creativity. This will never be on the radio. Like most songs, it kind of starts as a groove on the guitar, like usually starts with a mistake. And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting and new and something I haven't done before. So I try to graft a melody on top of it. Mm-hmm. And then I was coming up with lyrics in my head about like kind of chastising the state of the industry and how there's this hyper focus on marketing and, you know, everything for Instagram and TikTok or whatever. So it was kind of generally about that. But I think I came up with "This will never be on the radio" line when I was in the shower. When I'm showering or biking, it's like you just get into that zen state where like you're away from the guitar, but you're thinking about the song, and I just thought it was ironic. You know, this will never be on the radio. It was kind of a challenge to the DJs. Prove me wrong. Yeah. This is called "This Will Never Be on the Radio."
Funkadelic is the only exception. One groove under a nation. Here come the mothership, up and away we go. You can't just change the station. This will never be on the radio. Buggy commandments, fantasy, musical enhancement. Jake the joke and walk to wake, son. Be careful what you take from you. Shake and bake, son. The rule is just be cool. The rules are 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 the rules. I just want them to fly. I just want to rise above it all. Just take to the consolation, 30 miles on. Everybody wanna go. Not one daughter wanna be one girl. I love you, but you're trouble. Yesterday it seemed like fun, yeah. But too old love the struggle. Always scrambling any old justification. Swing down, sweet chariot. Up and away we go. You can't just change the station. You can't just change the station. You can't just change the station.
it's interesting too when you're talking about just thematically how it came to be, about the marketing of music specifically. Do you feel like kind of the oversaturation or marketing of music right now takes away from the creative process?
Yes. Gosh, should play that song. There's a new song that I wrote. This exactly. The line is, I was so focused on the hook, I forgot to write the song, you know. And the hook, as in the ear candy for the listener, but also hook as in, like I've seen. And because I'm releasing a new album, I've been buried in lots of YouTube videos from like music marketing, self-proclaimed gurus, and how they're like, oh, you got 2 seconds to hook the viewer, you know, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a lot. And I do like making music videos for the songs that I do. Like, again, it's all just self-produced stuff or whatever. But if I get a concept, I'll try to bring it out. But like long-form video is like, it's not really a thing anymore. It's like you got 2 seconds to hook them and 10 seconds to keep them before they keep scrolling. So it's a lot, and there's so many people doing it, and it's hard to find a way in. But you know, I am having fun with it. You know, I'm not trying to pressure myself to be more than I necessarily am. I don't think I can handle it anyway. My God.
Seems like a lot just added on to already being an artist and a creative, having to market it to tailor it a certain way.
I just want to, do my little art projects.
Right.
And,
Definitely. And speaking of the second song that you performed for us, if you want to talk a little bit about that one as well. Yeah. Thematically. What brought you to write that?
I just purchased an acoustic bass because I saw it was one of the Song City shows, and Sawyer Frederick was there, and he did a song on an acoustic bass. I was like, I need an acoustic bass. And it's I haven't used it live, but it's a great tool just for like being able to sit on this couch and just like work stuff out. So that song came out of that, but I had the groove like doom 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 doom, and I just started again grafting a melody on top of the riff I'd come up with, and I just said, what you gonna do? Yeah. And I was getting ready to go to one of the Folk Alliance conferences, and I knew I'd be in some singer-songwriter circles. So I was imagining being in a singer-songwriter circle and just taunting the other performers and go, what you got? What you gonna bring to the table? I got this. What you got? Yeah. But then because I'm metal and a navel-gazing songwriter, I turned it on myself. So I'm like, what you gonna do with this song? How you gonna write it? There's not that much to it. It's just a bass line. Yeah. So that's how that developed. Yeah. This is called What You Gonna Do? What are you in fact going to do? What you gonna do? What you got? What you gonna do? Oh, that. We gotta dance, shake it off. It's get too hot. What would you even call that? What you gonna do when the general opposition turns into something with a lot of more intention? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Do what you do when you do what you do when you do what you do what you do. What am I supposed to do with this song now? How am I supposed to make this thing work? What am I supposed to do with this song now? I'm stuck in this only the second verse. What am I supposed to do with all this busy beat, syncopation, junk in the trunk? It's too much. At the same time, the song is barely enough.
It's basically basic, fed on nearly no mediocre. I've been trying to fix the song since last October. What you gonna do when your little composition needs to be something with a lot of more intention? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Do what you do when you do what you do when you do what you do what you do. Managed to the songwriter circle of hell. Dante and Virgil rolling up the point and laugh as I struggle with this lyrical cardiograph. Yeah. So this is where I hide from true introspection. It's a circle where I hide from a human connection. 'Cause I know that this planet has got its issues, and the people on this planet got their issues. So I should be trying to fill in big shoes, but I ain't got the nerve to sing the big truths. So I hide from the noise and all the sick news. Try to keep on my grind as it continues. Try to keep on my grind as it continues. And if you catch me crying, go get them tissues. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So what you gonna do? Woo-hoo. What you gonna do? Boo-hoo. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And do what you do when you do what you do when you do what you do what you do.
It's really interesting too. I know earlier we were talking about collaboration and where you take your music. Mostly it's a personal process of writing it. But if you could talk to me about what it's been like, I guess, collaborating in terms of playing shows with other local artists and what that collaboration has been like for you.
I prefer to play shows with other. I am a fantastic opening act. I love being an opening act or on a multiple bill because it takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
You're not trying to fill a place. I think the last show I did, that was like, I was like the so-called headliner or co-bill or whatever. Was it the Linda last year? And it turned out okay, but it's a lot of pressure, you know, like trying to get butts and seats or whatever. But yeah, my preferred show is where I'm, you know, not the feature, where I'm just I just did a show at Cafe Lena. Okay. 2 shows actually, a matinee and an evening show, and we all did Beatles songs. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And that was like collaborating without necessarily playing with each other, but that was a good time.
Yeah. And
I did Zan and the Winterfolk host the Ookie Spooky Showcase, which was in Troy, which again was like a number of performers. They sent us a folder of old local stories, some in the New York Times, some in like the Knickerbocker News or whatever from back in the day. Murder stories, like crime, true crime.
Yeah.
And like pick one and write a song about it. So that was a fun challenge.
Yeah.
That was cool. But I definitely like those kind of shows where it's like we're collaborating, but leave me alone and let me do my own process, and I'll show you what I have in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like playing near other people, not with other people.
Yeah. I feel like too, you get to learn a little bit about everybody else's writing process and how they perform and work with the audience.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and we got to chat about all of our processes, like as we were getting ready for the show that night too. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And it sounds like mostly on the performance level, but if you could talk about how you make connections in the industry as a local artist too.
How do I make connections? Not very well. I put myself out there. A lot of it is social media. I mean, the dirty secret is like, I don't spend a lot. There's a lot of bang with your buck with social media ads like YouTube ads and Facebook and Instagram ads or whatever. So that kind of helps to raise some awareness. I've been going to the national and the regional, like I mentioned before, the Folk Alliance International. And my friend Michael from New Orleans kind of dragged me there for the first time in February 2024. Okay. And that was kind of a baptism by fire. That was like, whew. It was in Kansas City. It's more of an industry thing. So there's lots of venues and managers and producers as well as artists. And there's like the official showcases, which are kind of prime time in the evening from like 7 to 10. And then at night, like 2 or 3 floors of the hotel are taken over by people who host showcases in their hotel rooms.
That's so cool.
And you just walk the halls, and it's like, it really is incredible. And it goes to like 3 a.m, and then after 3 a.m, like people just hang out in the lobbies and jam or whatever. It's really cool. So I've been to those. And the Northeast Regional was just in Albany. So that was kind of cool to see some of my Albany music friends who hadn't been to some of the other ones because it was in our backyard. It's a lot easier for people to come there. That was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like too, just thinking a little backtrack towards your writing process with your music. It's very, very personal writing process, but it seems you draw from just different ideas or just thoughts you're having about the music industry specifically too.
Yeah.
Could you just walk us through what it's like for you when you're writing your music?
Lately, like I said, because in part thanks to my buddy Mike and some other people are kind of urging me to get out of the house and play in front of people more. My process now takes into consideration like, I might have to play this solo acoustic at some point. So like the last couple songs that I've written, like just within the last week, I've been going back and forth between, it usually starts on the guitar again with like strumming something and it's like a mistake or something that feels new that I can explore further. So I just hit record and I just start and then graft the melody on top. But lately I've been going back and forth between like the just solo performing it, and then I'll go, okay, let me like add a drum beat and a bass line, and maybe a harmony to see how it will develop as a recorded, a studio song. And so it's like these two competing energies of the live performance and then how it's gonna play out in the studio aspect. Like years ago when I had friends who weren't necessarily familiar with Prince's music, I remember one friend in particular, he's like, okay, where do I start? There's so many albums. I'm like, okay, this is what you do. buy Sign of the Times, listen to it a couple times, then rent, this was back in VHS days, again dating myself, then rent the movie Sign of the Times and see how he takes those songs, those studio songs, which are very sparse. It was like one of his first albums without the full Revolution band. So it was like, it feels like demos, like almost a lot of those songs. But I was like, listen to that album and then see how he blows those songs up live with the full band. And lately I've been thinking I've been doing the opposite. I've been creating the studio songs and then like completely stripping them down to like just their essence of just a dude with guitar singing. And lately that's how I like some of my favorite shows in the last few years have just been solo acoustic. Like a couple just at the Troy Music Hall, like Elvis Costello, just him and a couple guitars, like no band. Randy Newman, just him and the piano. I do like seeing the song and its essence, and that's kind of my bias with like when I listen to songs. I find myself, and I think I've always done this, is like strip them down in my head and say, what's going on here? What's the chords and what's the melody? It's like, because especially with modern production, a lot of production is the sonics and the ear candy to distract from the fact that it's the same 4 chords that everybody else is using. So that's my old man screaming at cloud bias. But
what also seems like too, when you bring your music and you strip it down more acoustic, probably is more of like an intimate feel with the audience when they're able to step into almost your writing process in that way. It's less of the production, more of the music. How do you feel like your music has been received by audiences, especially recently since you've been doing that with your performances?
I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I'm sure they
I try to I don't know. It is tough being the kind of introvert that I am, who doesn't, like, I just got a text about like some article I was in, and I'm like, I haven't read it because I'm afraid to read it. So I don't know. It's hard to be in the indie one man or one woman doing it all by yourself, promotion, you know, in addition to, and it's especially hard when you're an introvert, because let me just write the song and you guys figure it out. Let me just upload it.
Well, it seems like too, you're just a very creative soul, so bringing the creativity in the music that you write and matching it with the performance, I'm sure is a interesting thing to juggle. So but I mean,
trying.
Especially playing with other artists, I'm sure it's been going well. In terms of just your projects, to plug this forward for the people watching this at home, do you have any future like projects in the works, any music to be released, shows?
The latest album is out now. It's been out for about a month, which is all Spotify gives you before they're like, okay, we're on to the next thing. You had your chance. But it's called Icarus Ascending. 13 songs, mostly just me making music in my basement with bass and acoustic guitar and drums, and so I am psyched about that record. Like I said, just in the last week, I've written like 2 or 3 new songs. So I'm like, I'm like, it's time to focus on promoting, you know, the album that just came out, and I'm like, I'm already on to the next thing. I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, that was my plan this week, was to create some stuff to kind of get more of the other songs out there. And wouldn't you know, I just focused on some new stuff.
Well, of course. But there is stuff for people to check out, so that's good. Yeah. Are you on all streaming platforms or certain streaming platforms?
I think I'm on all of them.
All right. Yeah, and Buggy Jive for...
Buggy Jive, right. At Buggy Jive, at everywhere.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Local Static.
It was fun.
It was great to meet you and talk more about your creative process. And thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week to Local Static. Make sure to tune in next week for more artist features.